Welcome to this edition of Collecting Small Diecast Land Rovers, and in this episode it's going to form part of a mini-series. We've already filmed part 1, which was the Range Rover 6-wheeled fire crash tenders, and in this episode, which will be part 2, we're going to take a look right at the very beginning of the Range Rovers with the Range Rover Classic. So why don't you join us? So the Range Rover Classic, up to press we've had 4 models released. The Range Rover Classic wasn't added to the Oxford Diecast range until only recently, and these are the models that they've released up to press. So we're going to take them in number order as usual. So let's start with the first one. And the first one is code 76 RCL001. So it's Range Rover Classic in Lincoln Green. So as we come to expect with these, we've got a code change. So it's 76 is the scale, R for Range or Rover, CL for Classic, and then 001. So as I say, it's Range Rover Classic in Lincoln Green. So this one, I should imagine, proved very popular when it came out because there wasn't that many really good models of the Range Rover Classic in this scale. So we'll just unbox it on off camera and let's see how many we break on this one. Cool, not broke one tab. If you're new here, these are the things we're talking about. They can be difficult to get out the slots, and especially if it's cold, I think this gets a bit brittle, and you can snap them or crack them. And as regulars here will tell you, I've done that a few times. Right, so let's have a look at the model. Nice lines of the two-door Range Rover Classic. We'll zoom in a bit so you don't have to put up with my shaking hands. There we are. Nice and smooth like a pro. Right. I seem to remember them being issued in this colour, but if memory serves, I think the pale blue was slightly more common. But white wheels, really looking quite tidy on this model. I would say they're standard Range Rover wheels. Nice paint job on it, all the interior detail. They've got the proportions right, that all looks fairly nice. Let's just see if we can pick out the number plate for you. YCX 348K. I'll confirm that in the text at the bottom, but that's what it looks like. The nice tidy front end on the Range Rover when it came out. There wasn't anything like it on the roads. You had your Range Rover, your Land Rovers, but they were very utilitarian. These were something very upmarket. Country estate owners would have them. I think they were priced a little bit out of the range of the average Joe public. These were more of your people higher up in society, but they quickly started appearing on the school runs, etc. And odd ones would appear on a farm, but you had to be a very well-heeled farmer at the time to be able to afford one of these. What set these off quite well was the 1 or 2 detective series and television programs. They started appearing in them, and I think that was like a free advert for Land Rover. So people started started buying them, and you started seeing more and more on the road. But as I said, there's not been a really nice, well-proportioned model of this in this scale, certainly, for use on the model railway. So this one was really eagerly awaited. And let's have a look at number 2. And with number 2, we have 76 RCL 002 Range Rover Classic Darren Gap. Now this one we've done it on camera, can't be bad. Right. Really nice looking one, this. We'll zoom in. I don't really know the story about Darren Gap. It's obviously British Trans-American Expedition, and it looks as though it was some form of, well, rally raid or something of that nature. The spare wheels on the roof, yes, you'd need them. Why the ladders? I don't understand the ladders on this one. There'll be a reason, and I shall have to do my homework on it. But really nicely appointed paintwork, and the bull bar on the front with a couple of spot lamps mounted there. That looks quite cool. Can we get the number plate? VXC 866K, but that's probably totally wrong, so it'll be appearing in printing just about now. And oh, the wonders of editing. Right. Nicely printed all down the side there. They've done a good job on this. And up next is 76 RCL 003, and it's of course a Range Rover Classic in Maasai Red. Just one of the normal street versions, this one. Let's attempt to get it open, and this is where you can break them. Right, I'm going to chicken out. Yeah, a bit of a struggle, just a slight crack in the plastic, but never mind. One of the problems is, so that you can actually see them on film, we've got a big ring light plus a camera and 2 tripods all set in front of me, so I have to reach my arms round, which makes things a bit difficult, he says, making excuses. Right, this one slightly off-white wheels, and nice looking red, pretty much standard to the previous one that we looked at in plain livery. We'll try and get you some close-ups, so let's just operate the zoom. There we are. Registration number NXC231H. Sits quite nicely in the red with good paintwork. Nice round the back. The rail machines under here were prone to rust. You see a lot of rust on the back on them. Certainly as they were getting older, there was quite a market in if somebody had scrapped one of these but had a decent tailgate, because the window lifted up and the tailgate dropped down. You could have good money to be had if you had one of these that hadn't started to rot out. Really good looking details around there. Super model. At the moment we're actually waiting for Oxford to bring out the Land Rover Discovery 1 in this scale. That's another model that's been eagerly awaited. Obviously because of COVID they've been delayed a bit, but these look nice on the shelf, and I'm not sure whether they've done the plain ones in 1/43. I'd have to check up on that, but yeah, so if you want one of those, easy enough to get hold of on the old internet. If not, available from Oxford. I think they've still got these. I don't think they've sold out yet. Right, so that's code 76 RCL003 Range Rover Classic in Maasai Red. And here we have number 4, and this is the most recent release in these. It came out a few months ago. We'll do the paperwork as it were. 76 RCL004 Range Rover Classic London Fire Brigade. So this will be popular with the Fire Brigade people. A bit unusual for a Fire Brigade vehicle, is actually in white. But there, we try and take it out for you. Back in a minute. Success. Right, let's have a zoom in and we'll see what this one's all about. Right, quite striking with the yellow striping down the side. London Fire Brigade. I should imagine this was a supervision vehicle, probably fire chief, something like that. As with all modern vehicles, as soon as you started using helicopters for communications and supervision from the air, as it were, vehicles needed to have numbers on the roof so they knew who they were talking to. So this one must be number 5 in the fleet. London Fire Brigade on the front, all printed out with some nice, if we can hold it steady, D898 FYM. I think that's correct, but it'll be printed at the bottom. Fire Command, there we are, supervision, as I said. So he got to ride around in Range Rover. Suppose it was a bit more comfortable than a fire engine, but yeah, really cool. I've made no secret of the fact doing these videos that I like a working vehicle, not just one that does the school runs, etc., but earns its keep. And I wonder how long this one was on the fleet for. Petrol consumption not that good on them, but they probably weren't too worried about that in them days. So if you want to add an unusual one to your fire vehicle collection, that is it. It's code 76 RCL004 and it's a Range Rover Classic in London Fire Brigade livery. So there we have 4 Range Rover Classics. I should imagine there'll be some more of these coming out. Some of the Defenders, they've gone to nearly 15 models, and certainly in the series. So I should imagine there's plenty of liveries for them to go at. A pale blue one must be showing up at some point, because they were common. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this one. Next we're going to be looking at the Range Rover 3s, and if memory serves, they're the P38 ones. Right, I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea, and I'm going to find out more about Darren Gap and these ladders. So, see you in the next one. Stay safe and happy collecting.